So first off, we have this one coming back from Birmingham, Alabama. Not sure why I used one of these envelopes. I folded it up. I can't remember exactly why I did that. So I must have like run out of the normal size ones that I use, like the 5x7 size. So it's sent 824. But yeah, I'm not sure why I did that. Must have been some reason why. So I think it's a photo. Oh no. Okay, this is why. Right. This is Heinz G. Struck. He worked for NASA. He was one of Wernher von Braun's scientists that came along after the defeat of Nazi Germany, where we got half of some other scientists and Russia got the other half. Luckily we got the better half with Wernher von Braun and stuff as part of his team, so that's pretty cool. Mr. Heinz G. Struck, and I know it's post Mark 1997, which has nothing to do with him, but it had a space shuttle on it, so that'd be cool. And this is from Henry S. So thank you, Henry. I was able to use one of your first day covers that you sent me, so that's pretty cool. Heinz G. Struck. Then we have Fort Wayne, Indiana. I believe this is a World War II veteran. So it's also sent 824, even though it's super hard to see because it got messed up on the corner there. I can make out the first half of it. This is Mr. Timothy Warner. He was an assistant chaplain throughout the war, and he is one of the last few chaplains still living. He served in the 95th Infantry, and he was born in 1924. So he is 94 years old. So that's pretty awesome. Another World War II veteran. Did really well with some World War II returns this week, and I have plans to send more. Had plans to send earlier, but I don't know about you guys. Do you guys ever just get like, you really feel like you really want to do these TTMs really bad, and then you just sit down and do it, and then you just don't feel like it anymore? That's kind of where I've been sometimes. I'm just like stuck, so hopefully that won't continue, but I was just feeling really down and I don't really want to write TTMs until a couple days ago I decided I still wanted to continue it, even if it's on a limited basis. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, if you guys ever get that feeling or not. Just where you're just kind of like stuck there. So that one's from Wilmington, Delaware. This was sent the day after 825. So super quick turnaround. I had sent him 2 photos. Now I wasn't sure if he charged or not, because sometimes he does, sometimes he didn't, but it's not for me, it's actually for Card Cutter. I was hoping he'd sign my photos, since I know Card Cutter doesn't have those, but he has tons of these, but that's alright. Gino Marchetti sent one of his Hall of Fame postcards. So maybe I should have included like $5 or $10 in there to get my photo signed, but I wasn't sure, because I'd seen some people send money, some people not, and he signs anyway, so I was like, does he charge or does he not? So I wasn't sure. But yeah, that one's not for me. This one's postmarked, looks like from Phoenix, and it was sent in August. No particular date on that one. This is a cool photo. This is Mr. Andre Wadsworth. He's a phenom for the Florida Seminoles and Cardinals. He's expected really big things, which he did still have a pretty decent career. Defensive end. And I really love this photo. Crushing the football there. That one's for Card Cutter 100% right there. So you know he'll like that one. So I'm still trying to send out some requests for him. And he also signed the paper that I used for a little bit of protection there. Don't know why the computer shut off, but it did. So, anyways, that is it, guys. Hope you enjoy. This recap video. It's time to get the photos up on Facebook. And thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And hope you have a great weekend and happy Labor Day. And I gotta work on Labor Day, but hopefully you don't have to. So, talk to you later, guys. Bye. Hey guys, Caleb's Cards here, coming at you with a recap episode for my week. This is episode number 658. To start it off, I do have a couple that I forgot to show last week. They were buried at the bottom of the pile and I found them after the video was already done. So I just figured I'd save them till we do the video today. But we got female golfer Judy Rankin. I think she's in either the Women's Golf Hall of Fame or the Golf Hall of Fame, if I remember right. But she also does some broadcasting as well. Then we have this one that's been out for a while. This was one that I sent for card cutter, Jeremy Trueblood from the Buccaneers, signed in silver. It's kind of hard to see. It looks better in person. It's much easier to see. The camera's just not going to pick it up that great. There's one with the Falcons. Or no, that's with the Falcons, yeah. And here's a little extra he included. I'm not sure if he's still playing. He might actually be. 2006, 2012. He actually might still be playing if I remember right. That might have been why it took longer. But I sent to a home address, so I'm not sure on that. I got a return to sender from one of the newly elected Hall of Famers, Bobby Beathard, GM, the Chargers, Redskins. So it must be getting small up the mail because it says refused. So he must be not wanting to sign anymore. Got a few purchases. Picked up the Scotty McCreery autograph card. I first purchased an 8x10, but they canceled the order. They said that there was no COA with it, and I didn't care if there was a COA, some IP auto that looked legit to me. But this one was slightly less than that one, so I picked this up. These cards are pretty cheap to get, mainly because they're probably sticker autos, but number 399, Scotty McCreery, one of my favorite country singers. Got Esteban Loaiza. This came in a box of cards. And I pulled this one out. I don't believe I have an Esteban Loaiza autograph. Owl Dark. He passed away back in 2015. World War II veteran. Really great guy. I rode him a couple times TTM. And this one, it's not a top loader, so I don't know if it's any good. But I don't know if can you guys recognize its signature at all? I have no clue who that is. So I just kind of kept it to the side to see if anybody else knew. And then the rest of these in no particular order. This one has been out for a very long time. About a couple years. Keith Thachik. Signed 2 NHL cards. Back when I was sending NHL cards. For a little bit there. It was like 2016 or something. I got a Pearl Harbor survivor. He was on the USS West Virginia. This is World War II veteran Stuart Headley. Signed in purple. Also included a note. I'm just talking about his life verse, and he's happy that I'm a Christian too, as he is. So he's talking about that. Got Nick McKay. He's the voice of Cat in, which I'm drawing a blank on his name, but in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I used to watch this show many years ago. At the time, I was really young. I don't think it was reruns at the time. I think it was still airing, so that's pretty cool. He signed 1 photo out of 2. Got 2 photos signed by Mr. John Wooten. He was an offensive lineman for the Browns back in the 60s. There he is going ahead blocking for Jim Brown. That's a pretty cool photo there. Got Mr. Robert Brown, signed as his character name in this photo, Jason Bolt. And I don't think there was anything saying he was a World War II veteran, but I could be wrong. Got Johnny Cash's daughter. This is Roseanne Cash. She signed 2 photos. And she also signed an index card as a bonus. Shout out to Henry S. I saw him get this guy back, and I've been meaning to write to him for a while. The subject of the story for the movie October Sky with Jake Gyllenhaal, if you've ever seen the movie, great movie. This is Homer Hickam. He went to work for NASA, developing many of the stuff they have to send our astronauts to the moon and into space. And he also included a bookmark. So that's pretty cool. Got Jim French, former Washington Senator. He's a catcher. That was a Getty Images photo, but I couldn't find anything else better. This has been out since December of last year, so Mr. Andre Tillman, and the signature came out absolutely beautiful. Former tight end for the Dolphins. So, 1977 tops. Got a former Texas quarterback. This is Mr. Bobby Lackey, and his wife actually signed the photo too. This is from an old Sports Illustrated cover from like 1959. So that was pretty cool. I was not expecting his wife to sign. That's pretty awesome that he had her do that. Then we have Mr. Herbert Elfring. He's also a Pearl Harbor survivor. He was on Camp Malakoli. Malakoli, I think is how you pronounce that. And he included he signed the index card I usually use for some protection. He signed that, and also included a whole bunch of information about the Pearl Harbor attack and some things about him, about his service. So, and he asked me, he said if I wanted more information, he'd be happy to send me more, just to write him. So that's pretty cool to get back from Mr. Elfring. So thank you so much. And finally, we have, at least for the ones that have already been opened, Miss Irene Elswick. She worked on Rosie the Riveter. So she signed a card, and then I got a note back from her son Larry, saying that she was really excited that she's been getting lots of requests lately, because I'm not the only one sending to some of these. I usually get ideas from other people on Star Tiger, and she's got suffering from short-term memory loss, but this helps bring her back a little bit too. So that's really good to hear that, you know, these letters can help her to remember, even just for a little bit, you know, of her contribution to this nation and the victory in World War II. So that's pretty awesome. And then we're gonna go ahead and open up these TTMs live that we got today.